Hello, my name is Shane Colby. My lab took place on Wednesday, April 1st at 12 o'clock. I will be demoing Lab 9, which has two parts, Register Bank and Shift Register. I will begin by describing and demonstrating the Shift Register, then I will move on to the Register Bank. The Shift Register takes a certain combination of switches that can be loaded into the registers. Then it can shift the data over to the left or to the right. There are 12 inputs to the Shift Register. The first 8 switches determine which LED lights will turn on after loading. The last 2 switches determine whether I will be loading or shifting the data of the registers. This push button allows the information to pass through to the LED lights, and this push button clears all the data in the registers. There are 8 outputs for the shift register, which are 8 LED lights. These lights will turn on when its corresponding switches are flipped and loaded, and the lights will react when the data is shifted. For the demo, I will choose 2 random combinations of switches, load them and shift them, each left and right. So first, let's do these 3 switches, then I'm going to load them, just like that, and then I'm going to shift them to the left a few times, then I'm going to do it to the right, just like that. Now I'm going to reset, take down all the switches, and next I'm going to load, let's do these 2, and these 2. So now there's those. I'm going to shift them to the right, just like that, and shift them to the left, just like that. Alright, and that is the shift register. Next, I will be moving on to the register bank. The register bank takes an 8-bit binary number and stores it in one of the 3 registers. This circuit can also display what number is stored in each of the registers. There are 12 inputs to the register bank. The first 6 switches act as the binary input. I had to ground the last 2 in order to accommodate for the amount of switches I have. And the other 4 switches on my board determine which register information will be stored on and which register the display will show. This push button allows the information to pass through the registers. And once again, this push button resets all of the information stored in the registers. There are 21 outputs, each representing a segment of the display numbers. For the demo, I will store 2 different numbers into 2 registers, then store the number in one of the registers into the empty register. So first, let's store 15 into register 2. Pressing this button now stores 15 into register 2, and we can see that. So we take down those switches, take down this switch, and activate the display for register 2, and that is stored, 15 is stored into register 2. Next, let's load 16, actually let's do 32, into register 3. Okay, load it, and now I'm going to load it. It's now stored, 32 is now stored in register 3. And once again, we can see that as we load these 2. Press these 2 switches, and 32 is stored in register 3. Now register 2 is still stored as 15. Now what I'm going to do next is I'm going to have, well, you see register 1 is still 0. So I want to store one of the other 2 registers. I'm going to choose 32, and I'm going to store it into register 1. Now once I press load, 32 is now loaded, stored into register 1 as well as register 3. We can see that this is register 3, register 2, and register 1. And it concludes the demo for the register bank. Thank you for your time.